All right, I think we're on. What's up, everybody? This is Joyce Samuels, host of the Bitcoin Will Come Sunday sermons. I don't even know if host is the right word to use. If you're new to this particular channel or this Sunday sermon, this started as a result of a sort of inside community joke whereby people were calling me the Bitcoin preacher because I was talking a lot about Satoshi's Bitcoin around the middle of last year at the time of the Bitcoin Cash hard fork. So that is why we now have Sunday sermons, sort of as a running joke, but also theme for the Bitcoin preacher. But this is our first YouTube live video, and we thought we'd use this because previously we had been doing Facebook live videos, but noticed that as a result of a lot of my interactions on Twitter and uploading a lot of my Sunday sermons to YouTube, it just made it a lot easier to do the Facebook lives straight to YouTube instead of having to re-upload from Facebook here. But since you are new, or if you are new to Bitcoin Will Come, first, welcome. And if you haven't already joined our Facebook community, we have a private Facebook community called Bitcoin Will Come. If you are on Facebook, just go ahead, search for it in the search box, and you should be able to find Bitcoin Will Come. Now, in today's Sunday sermon, I am going to talk a little bit about, well, if you're new here, we usually go over our first two main Bitcoin chains, which is BTC Bitcoin and BCH Bitcoin Cash, just to look at where they are at in the market, because the show is called Bitcoin Will Come as an ode to Satoshi. But we do also cover many other altcoins, ICOs, and just the general cryptocurrency space. The Sunday sermons are specifically geared around sort of looking at a lot of the meta and philosophical elements surrounding the cryptocurrency space, of which there are many. If you aren't new to this space, you would know that even Bitcoin itself had a very libertarian philosophy underpinning it when it was first released. And the deeper I go into the cryptocurrency space, the more I uncover in terms of how people's philosophies and beliefs really dictate the movements of emotions, whether it's on social media or in person to person. You know, each coin is almost a reflection of people's underlying beliefs, and that's why they seem to gravitate towards it. These are my own personal observations. But that's sort of the things I cover in the Sunday sermons. And then, of course, we just look at, you know, what's coming up. All right. So first up, let's have a look at the lovely BTC Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin Cash. All right. BTC Bitcoin. Now, this is all time. So for those of you who are new to the cryptocurrency space, BTC Bitcoin has had a very good run over the last 8 years. And, you know, looking at January of 2017, that's where it just started going into exponential territory. All right. But since we do these Sunday sermons every week, here's a look at what's been happening with BTC Bitcoin over the last week. It has been on sort of a downward trend, and a very steady one at that. My observations on this, and my opinion as well, is that this is due to, in what I believe, the one altcoin market, number one being the fact that ever since last year, since the 1 megabyte cap had been artificially placed onto BTC Bitcoin, it has caused... All right, guys, I'm going to try this again. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, that's Bitcoin, BTC Bitcoin. And if we look at Bitcoin Cash, let's have a look at the last 7 days. All right. This has been Bitcoin Cash's, they've had a lot of fake breakouts, and you can see the kind of ceiling here. That's or at the moment is struggling to break out of the past week. So Bitcoin Cash was going down, then up again, and they're having these fake breakouts, okay? But what we're expecting is, if we actually look at, say, the last 3 months, I don't think I'm alone in this, but around the 15th, plus or minus 5 days, you'll see that Bitcoin Cash always seems to do a little surge, all right? And around here, and then I believe here. So 25th, this was around public holiday time, all right? So we're expecting, since it's the 14th right now, we're expecting that, you know, plus or minus 5 days, we should see another surge in Bitcoin Cash prices. And yeah, there's been a lot of developments in the Bitcoin Cash space as well. I think recently, or very soon, Bitcoin Cash will be releasing their own unique addresses to differentiate their public keys from BTC Bitcoin addresses, because there's a lot of confusion before. Technically, from my opinion, we shouldn't even need to have to worry about these addresses, at least from a consumer standpoint or user standpoint. So I'm hoping that in the future, you know, it's only QR codes that users are actually having to use, or something else, because the keys themselves, nobody will ever remember. You have to copy and paste. It's not very user friendly. So I do hope and expect to see that change or shift up. All right. So overall market cap, a lot of people making predictions that, you know, we will hit the trillion market cap standpoint by, well, how much are we in now? Yeah, we're in the billions. So we're around 723 billion. So I think some people are saying like 7 trillion by the end of the year. We shall see, you know. There's definitely a lot more money, a lot more of a transfer of wealth over to the cryptocurrency markets. Now, so that's just a general lay of the land. But today's sermon, I actually really did want to talk more about why I believe cryptocurrencies are the red pill out of the matrix, but for the world we currently live in. And the reason why I say that is because I've been having discussions with a lot of people who, especially who are new, and I'd say, when I say new, I'm talking like about 1 to 4 weeks in. And every time we chat, they will mention how getting into the cryptocurrency arena or space is opening up their minds to like a whole new reality. So it's almost like their paradigms are also shifting as a result of being involved with the cryptocurrency space in and of itself. And so as a result of that, you know, it got me thinking, because when I had actually read up a Cliff High report, and if you're not familiar with Cliff High and his work, Cliff High is the inventor of something called predictive linguistics. I think that was back in 1993. And in 1996, he created something called a webbot, which essentially takes his analysis of linguistics across the web and analyzes them for trends and patterns. So having internet connection issues again, so gonna try and move to see if we can get a better connection. All right, let's see here. Okay, so yeah, cryptocurrency space. I talk to people about it. It is literally like taking the red pill in the Matrix. So if you're not familiar with the movie The Matrix, there is a scene where Morpheus, who is sort of like the sage of the film, and he offers Neo, the protagonist, 2 pills, the blue pill or the red pill. And the blue pill would allow Neo to essentially forget everything that happened to him over that night and go back to living a normal life or a normal existence where, you know, you could just keep lying to yourself. And the red pill, if Neo was to take the red pill, then he would learn the truth. The mind would be freed, and he would get out of the Matrix, because the world that he was living in was the Matrix. And so, in a way, we have a point in time right now where paradigms are shifting. And so the world that we once knew, the world where everything was centralized, for a better word, or where, tyrants or banks or central authorities controlled everything, that is starting to crumble. And according to Cliff High, there's a pattern emerging around secrets being revealed. So, like Neo having that choice to make between the blue pill and the red pill, when you get involved in the cryptocurrency space, you are by default taking the red pill. All right. And the reason why I say this is because once you actually buy into, so say if your first investment into the cryptocurrency space is Bitcoin, BTC Bitcoin, right? You buy it and then you start trying to figure out how to actually do something with it or use it. But as a result of that, you actually start questioning everything. You question money. You question the role of banks. You question central authorities, governments. You start questioning everything, lending, borrowing, the need for it all, the need for third parties. And it is like going down the rabbit hole in, Alice in Wonderland as well. And even Morpheus explains that about what it's like to take the red pill in the Matrix. So this is why I use that as a reference a lot of the time. Getting involved in the cryptocurrency space is like taking the red pill out of the Matrix. All right. And so, I don't do this to scare people, but, I still have friends who are afraid to get involved with cryptocurrencies. But I tell them, take your time. But just note, when you do make that decision to get involved in the cryptocurrency space, you are taking the red pill and there is no going back. If you are watching this video and you've had a similar experience, feel free to share it. Like what actually happened for you when you first got involved in the cryptocurrency space. For me, I couldn't sleep. I had to just research everything related to the cryptocurrency space. I started learning about trading. I was never involved in trading. I always loved the idea of investing, but the current world we live in, there's a lot of rules and regulations around it, and I understand why, because I can see how much chaos there is in the cryptocurrency space as well, and how many people are getting fooled. But at the same time, it's also allowed me to learn very rapidly, which is more in line with my type of learning. I'm a learn to do by doing sort of person. But yeah, for me, I ended up not sleeping, researching everything. I started getting I won't say bogged down, but I started getting even more heavier into learning about libertarianism, voluntarism, and a whole bunch of other philosophies, socialism. And it's funny because all of these things I had studied, but not in the context of technology. And, I'm a community manager by day, right? So I've always been very interested in socioeconomic and sociocultural issues. And cryptocurrencies kind of actually brings all the things that I'm passionate about into one. And so, for that reason, I've really enjoyed this space. And even more so now, I'm seeing how in the cryptocurrency space, how important communities are in the success of certain coins, certain projects. You'll notice now that it's not just about growing an audience, right? People, if you're launching an ICO, you're going to be growing a community, a branded community around your particular coin. And you may be using Telegram, you may be using Slack, you may be using Discord, but all of these different channels are there to form some sort of community around your vision. And I just find that very, very fascinating. As I said, community manager by day. So to see how much of an impact and influence communities have on the success of these initiatives, just says a lot to me about the importance of communities in general and what we're sort of craving at this point in time. So, that's kind of the general crux of today's sermon. from at least a philosophical side. I want you to think, if you have found your way in the cryptocurrency space, feel free to share in the comments below, the very first time you got involved with cryptocurrencies. Was it like taking the red pill out of the Matrix from the movie The Matrix? Did you feel like Neo? Did you feel like you were going down this rabbit hole and just learning more and more each day and finding it difficult to sleep even? Or if you didn't, share why as well. Was it just like any other day? Why or why not? Would love to hear, what your experience was like for you. Now that we've gone through that particular part, some food for thought for your day, we'll take you through, and this is what we usually do in our Sunday sermons, go over through some of the more noticeable ICOs and how I sort of keep track of new ICOs, hot opportunities, etc. Now, the number one way that I've been keeping tabs on what's happening in this space is Twitter. Now, I know that we have a lot of private messaging groups, but I still find Twitter, a lot of the information from those groups do make their way to Twitter anyways, and you're also getting information about each of the coins from their founders and the companies themselves. So Twitter is a great first place to start. And I'm hoping you guys are viewing this okay, and I'm not, dropping out, because on my side is showing that it's a very bad connection right now. So I'm not too sure how that's going. But I'll try to continue to go on, all right? So I'll just switch over. Okay. So here's my Twitter. And what I actually do is, if there's somebody that I like, all right, let's go Nishant. Now, Nishant works for Bitmain, and we recently connected. Cool dude. But, if I do want to get notifications from him, I can actually set notifications from him to my mobile phone to get those instantly, so I'm getting real-time updates, right? I know this might not seem like rocket science, but, there are a lot of notifications that you get from different apps, and I had previously kind of just taken off all notifications, but I'm noticing that, the movements of prices for a lot of coins seem to be influenced more by the social sentiment, and which makes a lot of sense, right? That's how the prices are moving. Like, we're giving all these coins value. And so you look here at the very inner circle, okay, of influence. This makes a lot of sense. You got Roger, Brian Armstrong, Charlie Lee, Andreas, Eric, and Fred, okay? And it just goes out, so on and so forth. Now, this may or may not seem connected, but to me, this is actually, it feels connected. Recently this week, Oprah made a speech about, the rise of the feminine and how time is up for any harassment or any secrets that have been held for too long by women about, things that have gone on in Hollywood. And this is actually in line with Cliff High's report around what will be happening in 2018, which is secrets revealed. I think those were the two kind of keywords he kept bringing up in his latest report, secrets revealed. So this year, expect a lot of secrets revealed to be showing up, in the news, around government, around cryptocurrencies even, all right? And so even around founders of your favorite coins. The way I see the ICO world and the altcoin world is that I see it as similar to the startup world. 90 to 95% of these initiatives will fail or wither away, all right? Either through a lack of commitment to see the project through beyond the first year, because it's really hard when you're just starting out, or by just, laws of the universe, who knows? But we should be seeing a lot of shifts and changes, like we did last year anyways, whereby, Bitcoin Cash was in number 3, Ethereum, it's stuck at number 2, but a lot of the top 10 coins at the beginning of 2017 are no longer in this. There are new coins that have made their way in. So it's always important to, hold your investments, but at the same time, keep doing your research and stay nimble. There was a time where I had a lot of my coins in BTC Bitcoin, but then when I did my research and learned what was happening, I converted all my BTC Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash. And so, I have in my holdings more Bitcoin Cash than I do BTC Bitcoin. All right. And I do hold, of course, many other coins now. All right. So we had Oprah. And yeah, so the secret revealed part is something to just be mindful of from a very meta high level. This, I think, will also be showing up in the way that the coins move in the market. And also when you're evaluating ICOs, you can actually use, or just remember those two words, secrets revealed. All right, now into the ICOs. There are 3 noticeable ICOs that I have been hearing both on the ground and then have also been confirmed via data as to, their chances of success. So first, I'll take you to this particular page. I don't know how I found this, but I did. I'm glad I did. And somebody is tracking ICO Telegram groups, and what they're doing is they're putting 24-hour updates to see, by sheer size of Telegram communities, which ones are like the most successful. All right, and this particular statement, I would have to agree. Almost, every ICO or coin or project within the cryptocurrency space has an associated Telegram group. Right? 99% of all ICOs use Telegram as a channel to interact with their communities. There is the communities part again. This means that we can measure the strength of ICO communities by measuring how big these ICO Telegram groups are. All right. Now, correlation does not mean causation. So just because you have a large Telegram group doesn't mean that the ICO will be successful long term. But in terms of hype ability, and how much a coin can surge within the first day or week, having a strong community base can really give that energy or boost at the beginning of a coin being listed on an exchange. So as of right now, the top 3 are the BeeToken, Polymath, and ShipChain, right? And this is really interesting to see. That's within 24 hours. Just yesterday, the top were Polymath, BeeToken, and WePower, all right? And already within 24 hours, like ShipChain has now entered the space. Never heard of him until right now, all right? But I had a look at the top 3 yesterday, WePower, Polymath, and BeeToken. And 2 out of 3 of them I'm actually going to be putting some money into. All right, so I'll start with WePower. WePower is a blockchain-based green energy trading platform. Now, what I like about WePower, first from a branding perspective, I think that just it falls in line with where most of our society is at right now. There's this collective energy. I'm not going to say socialist or communist, right? I'm just saying like there's a collectivist sort of movement happening. And I believe in both individualism and collectivism, all right? Like a balance of both. But the WePower is kind of similar to, how we have WeWork. And if you're not familiar with WeWork, so if you go WeWork.com, WeChat, right? Not WeWalk. We want WeWork. All right, all of these brands I think work well. So you've got WeWork, all right, where businesses thrive. This is a co-working space chain. We have WeChat, right? We got WeChat. We got WeTransfer, even for file sharing. So I think just from a branding perspective, WePower will work. And their site is decent. It's not. It doesn't look like it's being made by a pure dev who has no design skills whatsoever. And mind you, I have seen a lot of ICO pages that really need designers, a designer's touch. And they're looking to innovate in the energy space, and energy is actually one of my sort of key areas for investment. So when I'm looking at ICOs, I have like key sectors that I look at. For me, my favorites are energy, financial tech, AI, automation, and entertainment. All right, because I used to be an animator. All right, so I'm going to be looking. So for me, entertainment also includes VR, gaming, AR, augmented reality, etc. So those are the 4 sectors I'll look at, and then I'll plot those against the ICOs. And so with the ICOs, I'm having a look here. I'm now using Telegram group numbers to get a feel. So I'm checking my own gut feel based on what I'm reading every day on Twitter. All right. So in my home feed, I'll see, certain hashtags. I'll see things coming up, and that'll give me an indication as to what to look out for or what to ignore. All right. Tron. Now you'll notice Tron doesn't have a Telegram group, but Tron is another one that made headways last week. So that's another one that but that I don't think I think they've already finished their ICO stage, but that's just another coin that I look at. All right, so that's WePower. The next one is BeeToken, and I think BeeToken is looking to bring the blockchain to home sharing. So think Airbnb, but with a decentralized blockchain. All right, so this would completely reduce a lot of fees. So this one is definitely one to keep an eye on. I've been hearing a lot of chatter on the ground on Twitter, and it looks like based on their Telegram group, they've got a strong community base. Now, the thing about them is they're not looking really at like sort of global expansion outside of the US up until about 2020. So that's about 2 years from now. Now, I'm glad that they're realistic about their time frame or roadmap. All roadmaps are just that. Things can change. It could be accelerated, but I don't know. We shall see. This one I'm not too strong on because it doesn't necessarily fit into the sectors that I look at for investment. But it is tech. I love my tech. And I also love Airbnb. So I may throw a few things at it. All right. So, yeah, I think they're about to go into their public sale for B. I think the public pre-sale and private pre-sale are both sold out. All right, and then we've got Polymath, the securities token platform. Now, I'm not too into the securities side, but if we're looking at straight up making money standpoint, Polymath